We think it was 200,000 alone that they delivered in the month of December. You look at the trajectory now between China as well as globally going forward. I mean, we could be looking now 1.5, 1.6 million units for 2022. And that's why it just continues to be that scale and scope what we're seeing in Tesla beyond, what even the bull case. The haters will continue to hate, but you look at these numbers, I think gives a lot of momentum in 2022.
Yeah, some of your peers on the street are arguing maybe 2 million, Dan, is possible for the year. Maybe a stretch target, but one that looks a lot more realistic given this print.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at specifically the run rate in China, 2 million, it's not out of the zone in terms of what they could ultimately hit. And then you think about the chip shortage, that took out, in our opinion, probably about 25 to 30,000 units in the quarter. So you start to add that with the chip shortage easing into first half of the 2022, and I think this is really just the start of what I view as almost the next leg of the Tesla story. And just importantly, that gross margin story and the profitability, that's what I believe is going to be a big part of, we have a base case 1,400, bull case 1,800.
Speaking of the next leg of the Tesla story, Dan, what do you think could be a surprise for investors this year? Does it happen around FSD, full self-driving, risk perhaps as well, opportunity?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think two things. First, Austin and Berlin getting on board is key because that ultimately could double capacity over the next year. I think it's going to be about battery technology. I mean, I think you start to really significantly lower the cost. That's going to be just more and more of a margin benefit for Tesla. So expect another battery day for Tesla. And you look at that competitive move. We don't view this as a zero-sum game. I mean, there's a green tidal wave, $5 trillion of opportunity over the next decade. But Tesla, you get the supercharger network, battery technology, and that scale, that continues to differentiate them from other competitors.
So Dan, broaden this out to the broader EV space then. Who else are the winners this year? Is that the newer players like Lucid and Rivian? Can they ramp up, get their production right? Or do you think it's the legacy automakers like Ford and GM that are going to be providing competition for Tesla?
Yeah, I think it's the 313 area code. I think you look at Ford and GM specifically, I think those are ones that could really see a re-rating in the stock. They have the distribution, you got the vertical integration, everything Farley's done at Ford, and I think what Mary will start to do over at GM. You look at Rivian, it's been one of our favorite pure plays, but it all comes down to scale. And that's why when we look at this quarter, the reason I call it a trophy case, given the chip shortage, what Tesla's able to do, despite some of the shortages and battery component shortages, it's really off the charts. And I think it just shows you'll have competition across the board. Comes down to scale, and that's why Tesla, I think, continues to be a stock that could re-rate further, potentially $30 earnings power by 2025.
Hey, finally, Dan, even if they are in a pole position going through the year, as new competition comes online, do you think they have to ramp up marketing expense? I mean, would that be material to the model right now?
Yeah, and that's always been something that they're never going to do formal marketing. I think for them, it's really going to be about getting cars into customers' hands. I know over the weekend, a few EVs sent emails, potentially not till 2023 in terms of those that made reservations. That's going to be the key. Never formal marketing, but it's about ultimately that scalability. And that's why Austin and Berlin are key. And we think China's worth $500 per share of the story.
Fascinating. Certainly the way that Musk would want to start the year. Dan, and a great note. Appreciate it as always. Dan Ives, see you soon.
Thank you.